The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
All right, welcome to the Icons of Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Tim Calloway. I have a very special guest for you today from the great state of Texas, my home state, Scott Malouff with Malouff International Group with Keller Williams, San Antonio. How are you?
I am blessed. How you doing today?
I'm doing well and excited to have you on here. So let's start at the beginning. How'd you get started? How'd your real estate career start?
So I've been in the business now 7 years. 7 years ago was my rookie year. So before I was in real estate, I was in promotion club promoter. So I was a club promoter before I was in real estate. I also owned some different kiosk business in the malls. So it was a shoe cleaner kiosk business that I owned called Shoe Magic. And then also did artist management. So I started promoting when I was around 13, 12 years old.
Wow.
I used to go to the teen parties here. It was the teen club parties that they used to go on. And the guy that was throwing the events, he would see I'd come up with, 5, 10 people. And he asked if I wanted to pass out flyers at my school. And I said, yeah, sure. I'll do that as far as promoting. And then what ended up happening, I come with more and more people, and he said, do you want to get paid for this? And I said, well, what does that look like? So he would pick me up from my high school and take me into other high schools during lunch. And I would act like I went to school there, yet I was just there passing out flyers. And when I turned 18, I started doing 18 and up parties and then 21 and up parties. And then after a while, it was doing 3, 4 parties a week, yet I feel everybody has a gift. And my gift was being a connector. And I was connecting for the wrong purposes, because when I was, 26, 27, I was getting the calls of the next day of, oh, hey, such and such got a DWI, or this person got in a fight with this person at the end of the night, and I knew both sides, and I'd have to talk to them and talk them off the ledge. And then
right,
what happened on one of the events is a guy ended up getting killed. And I was like, this is when I had to make the transition. So the word D-side, like pesticide or suicide, D-side stands for the death of all of the options. So I had to decide what was going to be next for me in my next season of life. And I chose to go into real estate. I had a friend that was already taking his classes. He called me and said, hey, I think this would be good for you. So I went and I joined him in his classes. And then I got my license. And first year in the business, I was able to help serve 85 families that year as an individual agent.
That's great.
So first year came in, sold 85 properties. Second year is when we started the team. I brought on Victoria, who's our director of operations, and I brought on Jeff, who was our first buyer's agent. And we did 161 transactions that year. Year 3, we did 238 transactions. Year 4, we did 410. Year 5, we did 432. And then year 6, we did 517 transactions. And then this year, we should be serving 700 families by the end of the year.
Man, those are great numbers, man. Seriously. Now, there's a lot of hustle in real estate, right? I mean, it is a lot of hustle. And I read, I was doing my due diligence on you a little bit and kind of getting your background story. And one of the things I know that you're big on is training, right? Coaching, training, tech, the whole 9 yards. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? You're a big coach. You do a lot of training for Keller Williams. How did you get started in that? And then, how has that blessed your business?
So training never stops. You got to stay with the growth mindset, not a fixed mindset. And when you have ego stands for eliminate growth opportunity. So when you have ego, there's no more room to grow. And a lot of people that say, I know it all. That's ego talking. That's not going to get you anywhere. So Keller Williams, I was blessed with the training they've had, and I'm in a lot of other different coaching programs around the country too. Yet they have it from when you start to the level that I'm at currently. So there's group coaching, there's a mindset coaching, and there's skill set coaching that you need in this business. And then also you need spiritual coaching, you need a physical coach, you need just a mental coach. People think therapy is bad. Therapy is not bad. Therapy is good as well. So that's a different type of coaching you need too, just to talk you through situations and things that you deal with on a day-to-day basis. So those type of things that if you look at the highest achievers in no matter what field you're in, they have advisors, which are really coaches, or
Right.
they have coaches. Like if you look at LeBron James, he still has a coach.
Sure.
The president of the United States has advisors. Those are his coaches. So you have those people that are in your life that are going to help see your blind spots, help you, look at things different. That quote, change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Sometimes you need someone that's going to look at things a little different for you. And then also strategies. Like you might have a strategy and it might be a great strategy, yet sometimes there might be some things that people have done before you that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And you can look at, okay, just follow this system, follow this model, and you can be successful in this as well. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel a lot. You can just follow a system, a model that's already there, and be coached by somebody that helped put that together.
Right. It's just kind of like wash, rinse, repeat. Somebody helps you build that. That you can. I think one of the great joys when you figure out, kind of your why in life, and when you switch to making it about yourself and making it about others, that is when the blessings start, and that's when you wake up every day with a real purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about, you say you started building a team. I mean, do you currently have a team you work with that you've built? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. I have a team of 32 agents, correct.
Wow, that's fantastic. And all of them right there in town, or do you have them kind of spread out a little bit? I'm from that area, so I kind of know all the suburbs around, in and around San Antonio up into Austin. So I mean,
Yeah. So
widespread.
we're in San Antonio and New Braunfels. Yeah, we service everything around. We service the shirts, Cibolo, all the
Right.
areas around it. Yeah.
The Hueco.
Waco, we're not in Waco yet. So
No, I'm talking
that's
about riding the Waco, the
oh
the the
yeah.
water, right? Up at
Yeah.
Green. Yeah.
Yeah, green. Yep.
Yeah. That's old school for me though. I'm much older than you. So we're going way back. Going way back. All right. So we talked about kind of how you got started. We talked about, how you kind of bless others and work with others. Tell me about what the future looks like.
So the future, so our goal is to be, so we have what's called MIG Arms, and that's businesses inside of the business that we have developed or we're looking to develop within the next 3 years. So we have it's called Rev, which is Rest and Escape Vacate, which is a short-term rental company that we own. We have a credit repair company that we have a joint venture with. We have a title company that we have ownership in. We're looking to get a mortgage company with a joint venture. We're looking to start a development arm where our agents on our team can put in as like a hedge fund and start developing projects. We're looking at doing a general contractor company, a moving company, a staging company, a closing gift company. So our goal is to have the Ritz-Carlton customer service of all of the businesses where if somebody comes in, we know the customer service that's going to be there from start to finish, from title to mortgage to the agent to home warranty to everything that we know that we're able to have our our imprint on and have that Disney World experience where people are wow at the end of the day. And they're like, you know what? When I left working with Malouff International Group, that experience was the best experience I've ever had. And their customer service was white glove.
Right. Yeah, definitely that person to person, close treatment. That's how you get the referrals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's how you create raving fans.
Yeah, exactly. And fans, as we all know, is short for fanatics. And, it's nice having fanatics over what we do, right? I mean, at the
Right.
end of the day, you're really changing people's lives. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about changing people's lives in the San Antonio market. I mean, I know that market pretty darn well. I'm not going to say I know it at a fraction of what you do. But I also know it's still one of the more affordable markets in the United States, but it's got some beautiful, beautiful properties. I was looking at your listings. Tell me about the market there a little bit.
So when you say changing people's lives, that's actually one of our mission. That is our mission statement. Our mission statement is to our mission is to influence people in all aspects of life while figuring out their God-given gifts and creating everlasting relationships that's going to impact them forever. So giving back is something that we're big on. So as far as giving back to the community as a whole, that's something that we're involved in. We got what's called Single Mother Mondays with Malouff. So once a month, we showcase a
Nice.
single mom that's knocking it out the park. I was raised by a single mom. So being able to be able to give back to single moms that are just killing it is something that we do. We give them what's called a care package. And the care package, we have a $250 gift card to HEB, which is the grocery store here. We give them a gas card. We give them a massage card, a night out for trampoline park with the kids and a movie night with the kids, and $1,000 check that they can use towards rent or the mortgage or whatever bills that they need to use that money towards. That is something we do on a monthly basis. And then we also, before back to school, we do a back to school backpack and school supply giveaway. So this year we had about 1,000 people show up to our back to school giveaway. We rented out the trampoline park for the night, and we had kids come jump for free, and we gave them a backpack full of school supplies. So community involvement is something that we're big on, and that's something we have our imprint in when it comes to the city. And then when it comes to the market, we're just involved in a lot of stuff. Like we're a sponsor this Saturday. There's a San Antonio Brunch Festival. We're one of the sponsors for that. So just making sure that we're involved on what the city has going on is something that we do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Quick funny about HEB. Our listeners around the country probably not going to know who they are, but they're a large grocer in the state of Texas. And when I lived in Dallas, I'm from Houston. I lived down in Corpus Christi, raised by a single mom like yourself, in a small trailer park down there. But when I moved to Dallas, HEB was everywhere, right? And I used to think, if you know Dallas, there's the Hearst, Euless, Bedford area, and they call it the HEB area. And man, I thought that's where they named the store after, but it's not. It's after the owner, Howard Butt.
Yeah,
So,
that's funny. Yeah, I actually grew up. My house was the house outside of the trailer park we used to rent when I was growing up. So similar to that, with the single mom. And I actually started working at the age of 11 back then.
right,
So back then they used to pick us up from the trailer park in a van, and they
right,
would take us to these 9-pin bowling alleys,
yeah.
and we would set up pins while people would bowl, and we would stand in the middle of them, and we would get hit by the pins. And it was crazy back then. Yet,
Those are great
that's,
stories, man.
yeah, that's when I first started working back then.
Yeah. And I used to try to set up football leagues and baseball leagues. And I was like 9, 10, 11 years old in the trailer park, these big trailer parks that have like 300 trailers in them. And all the kids, we didn't have anything to do but run wild, right?
Yeah, it's just
Uh,
saying. I mean, we got a lot
right?
of trouble doing that too, but it,
In
it
a
felt
lot
like
of trouble, right?
it felt like every property had every trailer, every home, even on my block, had a kid in it. So we be
Right?
playing football, basketball. Everybody be drinking out the hose. I mean, it
Different
was a
time.
different. Yeah, it was fun though.
Most of the houses didn't let us in their house. Like we'd go down the street and they'd be like, you from down there? Okay, yeah, you can't come in, stand out there. And I was like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Oh man, this has been a great conversation. I want to leave it open to you now. I asked a few questions and got to know you a little bit, and our listeners got to know you a little bit. First and foremost, how do folks get in touch with you? And then secondly, Scott, I want to give you the floor and let you talk about, whatever's on your mind. Let you have the last word, whether it's about, you know, anything in the town going on or your business. Have at it. How do we get in touch with you?
Okay. Best way to get a hold of me is probably social media. I think Instagram's good through S Malouff, or my Facebook's at capacity, so that was a little bit difficult. Or you
Yeah.
can email at scott@maloufig.com. And then as far as building, building your team, building what you're doing, make sure that you're profitable. That's one thing that's big. When I got into one of my coaching programs, the first thing they did, this was 3.5, almost 4 years ago, was look at my P&Ls and see the oxygen of the business. And you got to make sure that you're providing value while still staying profitable. And those are two things that you have to keep a balance on. You have to look at daily, because you want to provide value for your people, yet you don't want to go broke while doing it. And for our team, like, we continue to build value. Yeah, we're a little bit, we're very steady on what we're doing. So we've cut back on a lot of things, yet we've also added a lot of things. So one of the biggest blessings was when we went virtual with our operations side. So we have our director of operations who's in the house, but then we have 5 cyberbackers that are all in the Philippines.
Nice.
So all of that, all of our operations is overseas, and that's helped us on our P&Ls. We have
Nice.
a full-time videographer, so make sure you tell your story. You don't need to have a videographer to do that, yet making sure you put out content daily. There's a book called Story Brand. Putting out your content and putting out videos that show what you're doing, even if it's just a hustle. If you're door knocking for an open house, or if you're just door knocking in a high equity neighborhood, or if you're doing calling, like, let people see the behind the scenes. Don't be that secret agent. Be that real estate agent that you are. So that's one thing that we're doing. We're very intentional about what we put out as far as content, and we put it out on a daily. And then we have an ISA team too, making sure you lead track, making sure you have lead trackers for your agents as well as your ISA team. Now, for our ISA team, leads are earned. So for an agent inside of an organization, they have to be doing at least 2 deals a month to be able to earn a lead from our ISA team. So we teach you how to hunt before we're going to give you any type of transactions from us.
Right.
So those are things that we do on our end. And then the mindset side. Mindset is huge in this business. Remember, there's no such thing as a bad day. There's just bad moments. And it's how you let moments affect you on how your day's going to go. Now, in life, we have defining moments. And in a defining moment, you can become a victim or you can be victorious. And when you're victorious, no matter what situation hits you, you can overcome anything. And that those are things that you have to continue to be. You have to figure out who you're hanging around. The 5 people you hang around the most is the most important. If the one person we hang around the most that people forget is ourself. And our self-talk is very crucial, because our self-talk, we're either being an inner coach or an inner critic. And we got to make sure that we're coaching ourselves up to become who we're supposed to become in everyday life. And that's one thing that's big in our business is mindset and who you surround yourself with, as well as what you let come in between these 2 ears. John Maxwell said the most important real estate in this world is in between these 2 ears. So what you listen to, what you drive, what you listen to when you're at the office, all of that is important. So for myself, it's either spiritual, it's going to be motivational, or it's going to be business when I'm driving. Audibles, Audibles, I call Audible Mill University. So listening to books when I drive is something that's big. So those are things that I recommend for others. And then stay learning based, stay with that growth mindset, and never think that you know it all, because there's always going to be something else that's coming up that you need to learn, and you need to be around people that are going to be able to help teach you. So that's where we're at, Tim.
Man, that's some sage advice from a young guy, man. I appreciate that. I love hearing it. It enriches me internally, and I'm confident that it enriches others who are listening to us now. Scott, it's been great having you on the show. I would love to talk to you again sometime, maybe catch up and kind of see where you are in the future.
Sounds good. Thank you, Timothy. If you need anything, let me know.
You have a great day.
Thank you, brother.